guys, welcome to the 12th episode of the Arcade Cabinet, where we put smaller titles in bigger perspectives. And today I'm reviewing Volgarr The Viking, the game where you hack, slash, and dash your way through enemies. So I hope you guys have your swords and shields ready, so let's get started.
Volgarr The Viking takes us back to a grand scale of gaming where timing and precision was key, when to know where enemies were coming, what positioning you had to be in to dodge attacks, how quickly you had to move, and how far you can make that jump happen. Taking us back to where health bars are non-existent, checkpoints rarely happen, and that armor really didn't matter as much as you thought it did. Volgarr The Viking takes us back to those super ghouls and ghost days in the modern day era, where games are more easier and hand-holding. Volgarr trumps that statement completely. First off, let me start this review by saying that Volgarr The Viking is hard. It's an extremely difficult game. The games in range I can put in comparison with is Dark Souls, Ghouls and Ghosts, and Lords of the Fallen. This game will have you at the edge of your seat from how tough it really is. Also, you should really expect to die a lot as well. It's perfectly fine and normal in certain situations, and Volgarr will have you dying a lot. Whether you missed that jump, didn't calculate that enemy coming up to kill you, or simply having a trap kill you, this game cranks it up by 10. The gameplay is really fun in Volgarr The Viking. From having to really maneuver yourself in the platforming sections by rolling and slashing after a jump to get the extended range, or dodging those traps well enough to the combat sections where I can rock with a flaming sword, or use my long-range spirit weapon to cut through enemies easier, or having the spirit of Thor's hammer in my body as a one-hit kill move that everyone is extremely fun and cool looking as well. The combat does take some timing, however, and the gameplay is really well crafted animation-wise too. The artwork and soundtrack for Volgarr The Viking is beautiful. From the detailing in the 16-bit retro-style graphics to the champion-like Valhalla soundtrack they give you during certain moments when you do something cool or beat a certain boss is completely cool. Volgarr The Viking actually makes you feel like a Viking by immersing you in beautiful orchestra music and putting you in very well-crafted 16-bit retro old-school graphics. Definitely something that you can enjoy, not only visually, but musically as well. My one dislike for Volgarr The Viking is while I know it's designed to be hard, it still should have been a difficulty slider for those coming in fresh to the game. Easy, normal, and hard should have been something to the game. Normal and hard be your challenging standpoints, and easy just to get yourself fresh to the game. While I don't mind that there isn't one, I still feel like there should be one for people just to get used to how the game plays, how hard the platforming moments are going to be later on, and how challenging certain aspects will be. But all in all, Volgarr The Viking is a really fun and challenging game to play. It's difficult in all the right reasons, making you pick up on what you do wrong and have you completely learn from your past mistakes. Great gameplay, cool style art, and a great soundtrack. It still has the effect of wanting a difficulty slider just so you can try without having to get angry or upset at the game, but that doesn't stop the fun. With that being said, I'll be giving Volgarr The Viking a 4 out of 5.
Alright guys, that concludes today's episode of the Arcade Cabinet. Tune in next week, I'll be reviewing a game where being blind doesn't stop you from having visuals in Beyond Odds. Also, do you have a request? Do you want to see a title in a future episode of the Arcade Cabinet? Well, you can email me at thearcadecabinet@gmail.com and I'll make sure to get back to you as soon as possible. Also, I'd like to give a big shout out to a big homie of mine, very great close friend, Sounds by Nature, for the beat usage today. If you guys want to check out any of his work, I'll put his link in the description box below where you can check out all of his craft. Also, later on tonight, I will be streaming some Rare Replay. My 30 for 30 stream will be going down, so check in soon. So until next week, guys, we'll tune in, turn up, and throw down. I'm out.